This is the story people usually avoid talking about. Everyone sees Taylor Swift as an untouchable superstar breaking records, selling out stadiums, and dominating headlines every single day. But behind the fame, behind the awards, behind the public persona are years of bullying, humiliation, betrayal, lawsuits, family tragedy, and massive public backlash that would have destroyed most people. Today, we're breaking down the darkest chapters of Taylor Swift's life. The pain, the controversies, the scandals, the fights, the mistakes, and the moments she barely survived. Before we continue, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so we can keep bringing you real, unfiltered stories. Before Taylor Swift became a global phenomenon, she was just a lonely girl who didn't fit in. Most people imagine she must have been popular in school. Wrong. She had almost no friends. She was bullied, excluded, and mocked for not being cool enough. She once called a group of classmates, inviting them to hang out at the mall. They all lied and said they were busy. When she went with her mom instead, she saw all of them together at the mall after rejecting her. That humiliation shaped her entire personality. It made her guarded. It made her observant. And it pushed her into songwriting because it was the only place she didn't feel invisible. Taylor spent her entire early career under Big Machine Records. She wrote the songs, she sang them, she performed them, but she didn't own them. When she tried to buy her masters, she was offered a deal she called manipulative. Earn back one album for every new album she delivered. Basically, a trap. She walked away. And then the bomb dropped. Scooter Braun bought her entire catalog. To Taylor, it wasn't just business. It was betrayal by the label, by industry power players, and by people she believed she could trust. She called it incessant, manipulative bullying. She publicly declared she didn't want her life's work in the hands of someone she openly disliked. Her response was aggressive and calculated. Re-record everything. Own everything. Replace the originals completely. It was a career gamble most artists would never risk. But she did it anyway. And won. This wasn't rumored. This wasn't tabloid fiction. She admitted it herself in Miss Americana. She was starving herself. She overexercised. She fainted during shows. She felt pressured to fit into sample-size clothing. She believed that praise meant she looked right and criticism meant she was wrong. She internalized every headline, every paparazzi comment, every cruel internet joke. Her body became a battleground. Her self-worth collapsed under the weight of public judgment. She said she didn't even realize she was unhealthy until she recovered and understood what normal energy felt like. Let's be blunt, Taylor Swift was bullied by the media for dating like a normal young woman. Every relationship she had was turned into a punchline. Reporters mocked her. Award show hosts joked about her. Tabloids acted like she was boy crazy. The irony. The same industry celebrating male stars for dating models made Taylor a villain for doing nothing unusual. She eventually reached a breaking point and refused to be seen in public with men. Not even as friends. Everything could be twisted. Everything was weaponized. It was a masterclass in misogyny disguised as entertainment. This is one of the chapters she rarely talks about because it actually hurts. Her mother Andrea, her emotional anchor, her best friend, her guide, was diagnosed with cancer. During treatment, doctors found a brain tumor. Taylor has achieved every career milestone possible, but the one thing she can't control is the health of the person she loves most. She wrote "Soon You'll Get Better" because the pain was unbearable to hold in. She said it was one of the hardest songs she ever recorded because it was too real, too raw, to close. Behind the tour and awards, she was living in fear of losing her mother. Taylor was not taken seriously when she started. People called her success cute. They infantilized her. They mocked her songwriting as boy-obsessed. The truth: her writing skill is what built her empire. But people attacked her for doing exactly what male artists do without criticism. She responded with her work and with a song that threw the hypocrisy back in everyone's face, "The Man." This moment is burned into pop culture history. At 19, Taylor won Best Female Video at the VMAs. She took the stage overwhelmed with excitement until Kanye West stormed up, grabbed the mic, and publicly embarrassed her. Millions watched her freeze on stage. Millions saw her smile collapse. She said later that she thought the audience was booing her, not him. It was a career-defining trauma. And yes, it was the moment that turned her from a rising star into a lightning rod for controversy. If you think cancel culture started recently, you're wrong. Taylor Swift was one of its earliest victims. After the edited phone call leaked, social media exploded with hate. She was labeled a liar. Millions joined the bandwagon. She called it a mass public shaming. And she disappeared for a year. People mocked her downfall. They joked her career was over. They celebrated her silence. But the full phone call leaked years later, and she was telling the truth the whole time. A DJ named David Mulla groped her during a photo op. Her team quietly handled it, and the man was fired. Instead of taking responsibility, he sued her. He sued the victim. Most celebrities would settle. She refused. She countersued for $1, purely symbolic, because she didn't want money. She wanted accountability. She won, but the emotional cost was real. She said she thinks often about people who weren't believed the way she was. Taylor doesn't hide her heartbreak in her music. But what people forget is she was forced to go through breakups under a microscope. Every relationship became a headline. Every ending became a controversy. Every move was an update. Her breakup with Joe Alwyn after 6 years blew up into a media circus, and the speculation was endless. She has admitted repeatedly that heartbreak hits her hard mentally, emotionally, physically. But she never got to process it privately. The world demanded explanations every time she lost someone she loved. This is one of the darkest, most disturbing parts of her life. Several stalkers have repeatedly broken into her homes. One slept in her bed. One threatened violence. Others sent terrifying letters. She carries military-grade bandages for stab or gunshot wounds. She has to plan her life like a target, not a celebrity. Her addresses leak online. Her safety is constantly under threat. This isn't fan behavior. It's a nightmare. Let's address the other debates and criticisms that follow her. Some critics argue she overshadows the industry, receives too much attention, or manipulates media coverage. Whether true or exaggerated, the debate constantly follows her. Her shift from apolitical to vocal sparked backlash. Some fans applauded it, while others accused her of being performative. The Eras tour ticket collapse led to accusations of mismanagement, favoritism, and lack of consumer protection. Even though the fault wasn't solely hers, she took heavy blame. Her re-recordings led some critics to claim she floods the market and oversaturates the industry. Again, a debate she didn't create but still gets dragged into. Whether fans love it or hate it, the coverage became overwhelming. Some accused the NFL of exploiting her fame, while others accused her of overshadowing the sport. These aren't scandals, but they are controversies that fuel endless discussion and criticism. Taylor Swift isn't just a superstar. She's a survivor of bullying. Public humiliation, corporate betrayal, eating disorders, misogyny, lawsuits, heartbreak, and stalkers. Her life's darkest chapters aren't behind her, they're woven into her success. They explain her resilience, her strategy, her distrust, and her constant drive. Every low point became part of the empire she built. And whether people love her or hate her, the truth is simple. She endured more chaos, more pressure, and more public attacks than most celebrities ever will, and she turned every blow into fuel. If you want more deep dive stories like this, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us continue bringing you real stories, real analysis, and real truth. See you in the next video.